Well, let's talk about what is the culturalism from your experience?
Look at the contracts leaders have today. Yeah, normally. Yeah, they are defined by the win the company does in, let's say, 1 to 3 years. Yeah. When we talk about developing an organization and realizing a vision, sorry, we are not in 1 to 3 years. That's impossible.
You know what was we're on the same alignment. I used to be a big fan of Harvard Business Review. I used to have even the German and the English version of it. When many decades ago, Harvard Business School came out with the concept of shareholder value, I thought it was a great financing model, but I thought it was the downfall of strategy because it reduces not qualitative aspects to quantitative. It prioritizes quantitative.
Yes.
And that's why if you look at a lot of CEOs today, I'm going to go back to this vision thing. Do you remember the Jack Welch and the books that he came out with? Every CEO that you ever worked for, it used to read Jack Welch's book, and he was an absolute visionary. Absolutely. He wasn't always right with his vision, but he was a great visionary. And because nobody else had vision, and because he was such an icon, 90% of the executives that you and I know read his book and copied off him. They cheated. It was a cheat sheet. If I want to improve my numbers, fire a bunch of people. If I want to improve my product portfolio because I don't have any, I'm not ingenious, I'm not creative, then if you're not number 1 or number 2 in the market, sell it.
And at the end, nobody cares because if you're gone after 3 years, they are looking at their banking account and say, okay, I have my money, whatever comes, who cares?
So, sorry to interrupt you, but that's just such a powerful thing that I think that it kind of goes over the head. And I want to say, and I think to make a very simple example, Steve Jobs didn't know how to code, was not an engineer.
No.
He was famous for doing fonts. He was basically a graphic designer, but a abnormally creative, visionary individual. Exactly. When everybody else started, when IBM sold their laptops to Lenovo, when HP said, screw laptops, nobody wants, Apple put their foot down and said, no, the vision is people will still pay a lot for laptops, but not the laptops you're selling. And if you look at Tim Cook today, he's the other extreme. You know, he's a great manager, but he's not a visionary. So let's go back to that was the first point. Go ahead.
Sorry, a very important differentiation. A manager and a visionary. Yeah, unbelievable. We have a lot of good managers, but they do not develop anything further. We need visionaries.
You need to be comfortable with the unknown. You need to say, listen, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but I know what I'm talking about. When Steve Jobs walked into his famous engineers meeting, and I'm sure their brains exploded, he walked in with a pack of cigarettes after having a cigarette break and said, I have an idea. And they go, really? What's your idea? I want a device that's about this big where I can put all my music on. All the engineers, I thought inside they were probably exploding and said, oh my God, we work for a sociopathic narcissist who's an idiot. He doesn't know anything about engineering. It's impossible. You can't do that. The concept, the paradigm shift of going from physical medium to electronical medium, how's that going to work? But he was an extraordinary visionary. He had other faults, but he was great. So that's the first quality, which I think the very few executives. What's the second function, or the third even, for executives as far as what their purpose is concerned?
Well, the second thing is when they have the vision, the next step would be to think how or what do we need to do to make this vision become reality. This is what we normally have in the term, and we are back to terms now, what is called strategy.
Yeah. Because a vision doesn't happen by itself.
Exactly.
Just saying what your vision is